hello, hello. What is up? We are back taking a look at some Orcust today. Yes, the new support that is forthcoming is looking fantastic. Could not have asked for better support for the deck. We will showcase some of it. There will be a lot more Orcust to come. This is definitely one of my favorite strategies. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll do the card by card here first. We'll start with our World Legacy World Crown. The Crown. We have our Harp, we have the Babble, an Allure, and then the Wand. So you get to play the Wand and the Crown now, which is kind of fun. But we're actually going second, I believe, against our opponent who opened an Ash, Adhara, Long Yuan, and then two Tayas. So let's see. They do start with their Long Yuan. They're going to go ahead and get their Synchro 10 going here for the evil Long Yuan, and then they'll burn me for 12. Bummer. All right, Taya is then going to go ahead and summon out for their Synchro 8. What does this guy's other effect do? If he has to draw one card. Jeez, in addition to burning and banishing. My goodness. Draws into the Chunjun, I guess. What a play. Okay, so then they're ending here. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for a blackout or something like that. Because they didn't even use this. They used their normal summon for the Taya. I don't know if they thought they could still go for their other normal summon play. But anyways, we don't have the best hand here, but what's really nice is just opening some engine right here. And this is pretty decent to open. The fact that we opened both World Legacy cards is really a bummer. But it's still very, very playable. The Ash makes, interacting with this not very feasible, but it doesn't matter. Like it's just, honestly, we have enough. And then the Allures can draw into more engine that we don't need. So at this point, I'm trying to play very conservatively into this negate. I figure if I just drop down the Girsu, they can just negate it, and then I don't get much out of it without having to go into my Galatea Eye, which is this cool thing. But the problem is, they can also banish one of my monsters. So I'm trying to set up my graveyard here first by putting the Harp in there and thus normal summoning it. Before using the Galatea Eyes effect, you then get to use the Crown and its secret effect because you've already set yourself up with the Link Arrow here. So this is an inherent special summon. It doesn't start a chain. There's no effect that activates to summon it. It just says you can special summon this card in defense position to a zone your Link monster points to. Thank you, Galatea Eye. Let's take a look at this cool Link 1 that searches a field spell like all of them do. But yeah, very, very nice. All it takes is an Orcust or a World Legacy monster. 0 attack, doesn't need anything. It does two things very, very well. So you can only Link summon it once per turn. This card cannot be used as material for an XYZ summon, so you can't immediately overlay for Ding, which is understandable. That would be a little too broken. This thing can send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Off to a great start. We love pitching our big cards here. And then this thing can add a World Legacy monster or Orchestrated Babble. So what's funny is we literally opened all of our targets for this card. So even in that niche scenario, this thing is still going to put in some work because as a second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other Orcust card, not just monster, card, from your graveyard. And that's for cost. You can then special summon this card. And so with that, we're playing with the tennis ball. Nice. All right, so that is Galatea Eye. It is it's an extender under Babble. It's a quick effect in both the graveyard and on the field. It's everything you could ask for, really. So this is already we're off to a great start here. So they may try to interact with us once we start to activate some effects because if I special summon a monster, they can banish. Okay, so they chose not to banish the Galatea Eye, I'm assuming. But they are preemptively negating it, which is very interesting because, funny enough, we already have all the targets. So that negate really does nothing. And her effect to search does require me to send a card from my hand as cost to activate the effect, which is great because most of the time I just need to get rid of my hand anyways. So then we're going to go ahead and inherently special summon the World Crown, which this thing is great only for one real reason, and that's because you can special summon it to a Link Monster Zone. That's the main reason. However, if you're going second, it does have another ability that says when a monster in the field that was special summoned from the extra deck activates its effect, quick effect, I contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Fantastic. This thing's already shotgunned its effect. So all I have to do is wait for evil Long Yuan, and then I now have a negate. So best believe this crown is going to be staying up. Normally you link it off when you're going first or whatever, but this is absolutely staying on my field to completely insulate me as I continue my plays. So it's very cool how Orcust now has a way to search this thing very efficiently through their link 1 and then set up at least an extra deck monster effect and negate. So when you're going second, you have now the ability to really start to interact with your opponent's board without getting blown out of the water. So we're going to go ahead and drop the Babel here, which is great. And they're going to try to banish this thing, which is totally fine. They clearly did not read the World Crown. So we will go ahead and take out the Long Yuan. Oh, that's right. They use this thing as Chain Link 4. So I don't get to destroy it. Whoop-de-doo. They tribute it to summon this guy as a blocker, it looks like. During the main phase, tribute 1 monster special summon this. Yeah, this is literally it. Does not do anything else. Before damage calculation, if your worm battles opponent's monster special summon, the extra deck destroy both. So if you bring an extra deck monster to battle against one of your worms, this thing can destroy both of them. Cool. This thing is not making it to the battle phase, but they do use that as a way to tribute the Long Yuan. It doesn't matter. The World Crown's negating its effect, so their attempt to banish my Babel will not go through. Babel is up, and this is when he realizes that it doesn't matter if this thing's negated. For cost, I can still pitch. So now we will just go on our merry way here, summon out the Nightmare, which is great. Now we'll make the original Galatea. We'll put back the wand to now set up our orchestrated return. This is now more draw power with our dead Girsu for the moment. We'll use Girsu's effect to dump, which is totally fine. They're going to negate it with Ash. We're then going to use our long Girsu here to now buff it up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. What we're trying to do is set up our banish, so we can have 2 banish machines to, shuffle them back into the deck, send a linked monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. This thing the Orcust deck has many ways to remove the opponent's board, so it is quite decent going second. Inherently, the engine takes care of itself. It now is just more consistent, and the link 1 really fixes the deck, honestly. So we're now going to use Galatea Eye's extension ability to climb on into our new friend, the new Girsu, I guess, the Enlil Girsu. I don't know. It's probably going to get a weird name, but it's the new Girsu, and this Link 4 is the best. It's basically what we were missing with the Orcustrion, Link 4 that we already had, which was decent for, blanket negating your opponent's monsters and permanently reducing their stats, but this thing does so much more. So generic, all you need is an Orcust Link monster and 2+. It's Link 4, so you at least need 4 bodies or Link arrows Link monsters that will climb up into this thing. And then its 2 abilities read: you can target one of your banished Orcust or World Legacy cards, add it to your hand, then shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck, and then you can shuffle 1 card from your hand to the deck and take control of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. My goodness. No targeting. Steal an opponent's monster. And with Babel, that's a quick effect. That's incredible. Now, during the main phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there from the extra monsters during your main phase, if it was sent from the extra monsters on this turn, you can banish it. Send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Again, under Babel, quick effect. So this thing is removal. This thing steals. He's Mr. Handsy. He's going to get it all handsy with this thing. So we climb on into the Girsu here. We're going to shuffle back 1 of ours from the banish, essentially. And then now we're just going to, get the rest of our extension needed to finish this thing off. Bring out a Magnemite. Search in the end phase. Why not? Smack him in the face for game. Cool. We will move on. Oh, that's right. I need to. They might have assumed that I didn't have enough. I definitely did. So now we will move on to game 2 here. Oh man, we open up some nasty hand traps. So let's go over ours. We open a Charmy Perulia, Nib, Nightmare, Fualos, and Valor. They have Designator, a cross-out Designator, Taya, Imperm, Circle, and Vessel. Oh man, okay. This is so rough. So we'll obviously drop Perulia in the standby phase so we can cover their normal summon, and then we'll hold the Fualos and our Valor or whatever until later. So hit him with the Perulia. This thing is basically maxi. Every time they normal or special from the hand, I draw a card. This one's the same effect. It says they special from the deck or extra deck, draw a card. And then if I have, during the end phase, more cards than what they have, what they control basically on the field, +6, I have to randomly shuffle cards back, but that's not going to come up. All right. Oh, and of course, you can use one other Charm Me effect. So both are live, which is hilarious. All right, so we draw into more engine. Great. Okay, so then they are going to circle away their Taya, use their Ashina, which will draw again. Now, this is the right time to drop the Fualos, because as soon as this hits the field, they're obviously going into their Monk. So we'll get their Monk, and then they're going to send. Now, this is where things might get a little nasty for them. They continue to summon from the hand, and then summon from the deck. Oh my. Chi-Xiao will Veiler that. They do have the cross out for the Veiler. That is fine. So this Chi-Xiao will be able to search here. So let's see. What does it pick out? They have an emergence. Probably go for a Long Yuan play. No, they're going to go for Protos. Okay, so as soon as Protos hits the field, we nib them. Drop the nib on them. Oh, do you want to come up? We've got a spectator here. All right, so we are then going to start with our Girsu play. This nib completely cripples their turn, which is really just terrific. So Girsu does get met with an imperm. So there is a world where you go for the harp, but I mean, we have the Foolish Burial. There's going to be the Galatea Eye pitch. If they don't have a way to bring out a monster, but if they did, we could droplet them. So we're just fine here. We have plenty of ways to extend through imperm, and so the Girsu was really trying to bait that out early. So we're going to go ahead into Galatea Eye, pitch the Nightmare. And at this point, I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to let me combo here, but we're going to go for the Babel. Yay. Easy GG's. But yes, Orcust is back. Look out for more of these replays. No idea when we're getting this in the TCG, but it doesn't matter. It's exciting.